Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. It's Thursday, Thirsty Thursday, or Treat Thursday, or whatever you want it to be. We're getting one step closer to the weekend. I'm super excited to have this young man on. Erick Gereaux is with us. He's going to talk about how to help turn the tide in your favor. And he's got an amazing story, and he does a whole bunch of good stuff for the world. So we are so excited to have you. Welcome, Erick. How you doing?
Thank you, Ted. Thank you so very much for having me, my friend.
I'm very excited. All right. So let's take a deep dive. Let's start. Origin story is the thing that most people are like, I got to know more. And you certainly have an interesting journey that you can share with us. So let's get the 411 on Erick Gereaux.
Yeah, definitely. And I always say part of my story is we're not done with you yet. So I mean, that's definitely something that was huge for me because honestly, bud, I was a perennial bachelor. I was living down in Florida. I moved down from Chicago at 23 and was playing volleyball, softball, golfing. I always say the worst and the best part of my story was I shot an 83 the morning of my accident. So, but the beautiful part about it is, I was living down here. I was living my best life. And that's all of us can ever really ask, to happen. And I was doing well. I was, in a sales job. I was making great money. I was six figures at the age of 31 and just loving life. But then my life changed dramatically. I was in a single car accident out on 75. For those of you down here in Florida, you'll know that 75 is a beast. But there was a tire tread in the road and I went around it. I caught some gravel, a row of palmetto trees and a palm tree head on. And from the 83 golfing that morning to a great helicopter ride, I was told, up to Tampa General, and just had to figure it out. I was in the car on the, sorry, I get choked up on this every time, but
no, please.
Passenger floorboard. And I literally heard the audible voice of the Lord saying, I'm not done with you yet. That's why I make the joke of we're not done yet.
I love it.
There's so much that all of us can do, whether it's give somebody a smile, give somebody, $100, give somebody a wave, that can change somebody's life. And I always say, who can you go out and bless today? So that's kind of me in a nutshell. And where, yeah.
So what was the process like? Because people hear about that, and you're getting a lot of love. Let me see if I can get it. So people obviously have heard about that kind of stuff. They don't. I think that they don't realize we get desensitized how much work goes into your progress and whether or not you are going to be where you're at now. It took a lot of work. Can you tell them a little bit about that?
Well, not only just a lot of work, but I was blessed because I was the gym rat prior. So I was going to the gym twice a day. I was in good shape. And that's one of the things that my therapist always said was because I was in such good shape, I'm getting back faster than what I probably should be. Now they say millimeters higher and I would have been a vegetable. So thank God I still have my mind. I still have, some movement. But it took a lot. I ended up going back up to Chicago, went to RIC, which was Rehab Institute of Chicago at the time, one of the best therapy hospitals in the US. And my family kind of started coming to visit me and, just having the mental capacity, I always say, and the mental strength to get through anything, even prior to this, is really what it takes. I was doing therapy 3 to 5 hours a day because funny story is I ended up checking myself out of RIC because they weren't giving me enough rehab. And I talked to my doctor and said, I don't need psych and soc. I need somebody to move me. So that's really what it started boiling down to, is just having the strength and the mental strength to get through daily activities.
So did it shift your what you wanted to do? Like, you probably had a plan before the accident of what you wanted your life to be, or what vocation or whatever you obviously were in a great job. What about afterward? How did you discover what you wanted to do? Because you currently do a lot. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But there had to be some soul searching and some trial and error, I imagine.
I always told my therapist that I was happy it was me rather than one of my friends because I don't know how they would have taken it. And honestly, when I started going back to it, I told the nurse, and sorry if I offend somebody on this, but I told the nurse within 2 months I was going to be walking back in and taking her and her son out to dinner. That was my mindset. I never even considered being in a wheelchair. I never even considered slowing down. So my job actually said, if we can figure this out, we'll hire you and keep you on, payroll. We just couldn't figure out because of the distance.
Yeah.
So it's always been something that I knew I wasn't going to be on Social Security disability. I gave myself 2 years to get off it. It took me 5. Okay, shame on me.
That's
But
still amazing, Eric.
absolutely, thank you. And I don't say that so people, dote over it. I say it because anybody can do it. If you put the mind to it, you can do it. Plain and simple.
Would you say faith was also a big part of your ability to kind of deal with things? I think a lot of people bring that up, and I heard you mention it earlier, what you heard God clearly say to you.
Yeah,
Was that part of the whole process too? Was that a good driving force to help you keep focused?
absolutely. Thank you for that. I've always been a faith-filled man. I was born and raised Catholic. Would go to service twice so I can sit next to my grandpa who was a deacon. But just to be able to, again, it's not always about me. Who can I go out? Who needs to hear this today? That's the way I look at it. I was actually a good way to put it is when I'm sitting back and thinking, or if I'm down or whatever, it's okay, somebody needs me today. Who can I go out and help that person? Because going out and helping that person is going to help me in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
It's always about uplifting others. And you get so filled by helping someone.
Absolutely.
Everybody's like, "Oh, you're helping somebody. You're doing it for them." No, I'm selfish, man. I'm doing it for me the way I feel.
Well, yeah, there's definitely a benefit to helping people
Yeah,
besides the help. The,
yeah,
the feeling that you get, it's over, and especially when you're doing it in a way that you're meant to do it, that you're supposed to be doing it.
absolutely.
And so I think that's so true. And I think a lot of people feel guilty sometimes because they feel good about doing good. And I'm like, no, that's okay. That's how
Yeah,
it's meant to be.
yeah,
They get benefit and you get this intrinsic kind of my heart feels good, my soul feels good
absolutely.
scenario. So where did you come up with EJG 360 Consulting? And tell them a little bit about that because when they go to your website, they're going to see that you do a myriad of things, which I love. I love a serial entrepreneur.
Well, thank you.
So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, and that's kind of the reason where EJG 360 came into play is because EJG, Erick John Gereaux, but 360 is we do a little bit of everything for everybody. So we think it's almost like a circle. We encompass everything from, working with health professionals to, customize wellness solutions for their clients, their practice. I work with debt elimination and debt consolidation, debt wealth management, to where we work with somebody that is just starting to start looking at their house and their mortgage and whatnot, and actually be able to pay that down in a timely manner. To be able to, I became a naturopathic wellness coach. So to be able to help someone with their physical health, I mean, there's so many different things that we can do to help somebody. And to me, that the physical and the monetary is definitely a full circle of what we get to do for people. So EJG 360 Consulting is we do a little bit of everything for everybody. And one of the things that we say here is whatever it takes. So, if it's something that we can help somebody, and one of my mentors always says, don't show somebody how to get to Chicago if they want to get to St. Louis. When they want to go to St. Louis, they'll come back and ask you for it, So to me, that speaks volumes. Show people where they want to go and help them get there, and then hopefully they'll remember you for that.
And I think I want to talk about your approach because the way that you reach out to people, I think, is very creative. In this day and age, we're all unfortunately a little bit jaded, and so when somebody reaches out and they're as friendly and wonderful as you, people are like, what's the catch here? What's going on? And what is it that, because the way you approach things, I think, what can I do for you? You're very giving, and that's what you do. And I know that you mean it when you ask it. Yeah. But unfortunately, in this day and age, people are immediately suspicious of it. So how did you come up with that's the way that you approach it? And then how do you not fight, but overcome the obstacle that everybody has in the back of their mind? What's this guy trying to sell me? What's this guy trying to get from me? Yeah. And it's sad that we all think like that, but we've all been burned so many times. So, but talk a little bit about your process, because I really think it's unique.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. One of the things that I've always done is I consider myself a friend making machine. I am a friend. To who, we got to figure that out. I'm here to help and support anybody that I possibly can, because I've gotten so much help and support through my life. So sometimes it just takes that one reach out to somebody and say, hey, you know what? How are you doing today? And people don't really get that often enough, unless, like you said, there's something that somebody wants to be gotten. Nobody wants to be gotten. So what I'm here to give. If somebody wants to talk, we'll talk about nothing. If somebody needs that friend, I'll be that friend about, whatever it is. And if they ever need something, I'm here for them. That's something that most people don't understand, because like you said, they see all these things and all these companies now and posting all this stuff on Facebook and, oh, you got to try my this and you got to try my that. No. What do you want? What do you need? If it's something I got, great, let's do this. If not, great. How can I help you find it? I find myself as a connector more than anything. People
I love that.
Yeah. People that need something, I'm here for you. If I know somebody that's got it, I'm here for you. I'll let them take care of you. I might be a jack of all and master of none, but I'm smart enough to know that I can show somebody who the masters are. I don't have
That's to so important. I love that, because I think I try to do the same thing. I think if you become a resource for people, a safe place for people to ask whatever it is, it could be who's your favorite person to get the car wash done, or buy a car from, or a million different things. What's your favorite Italian restaurant? I get a lot. But you're a resource for them. And sometimes it's a little deeper. Sometimes people will go, hey, Ted, do you know a good therapist? Or, hey, Ted, I just got diagnosed. I'm super worried. Do you know a good psychiatrist? Do you know a good physical therapist? I want to be that resource to everybody. And I know that's what you're talking about, the connection there. That also feeds the soul, feeds my soul. So I'm sure it does yours. So kudos to you, because that's really awesome.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. And it's something that definitely uplifts. And, if you can help somebody, and, I always say, or one of my other mentors, I suppose I'll steal it from her too, but the tide raises all boats, and that's really something for me that I've been lifted up and helped out, like I said, so many times by so many different people. If I can do it for one person, I look to go out and help one person a day, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, okay, let's try harder tomorrow.
I love that you have this positive energy. And what I want to know, I ask everybody this that has that I know is out there doing good. What do you do to recharge, to refuel? Is it prayer, meditation? Is it, because, we all get depleted. And if you're a connector and a giver, it is a ongoing challenge to not be depleted all the time. So what is it that you do? Do you have some morning routine, evening routine, a certain thing that you do to really keep that sharp focus and that positive attitude?
Yeah, well, prayer is definitely a big thing, and meditation in the morning. I do my prayers, probably 15, 20 minutes a day every morning. But not only just that, but I stay in the atmosphere. I stay in the atmosphere of awesomeness is the way I put it. And what I mean by that is I surround myself with people that are uplifting themselves as well. So when it's something that, I know something's coming around, or I have people that I talk to every day that are mentors, partners, friends, whatever the case, and we make sure that we fill each other's tanks so we can continue to go out there and be a blessing. And
is that the thing you have to have? I have a similar thing, and I think you can't be the giver all the time and be effective at it and completely deny self-care. There has to be some sort of balance. But we're built the same, and I will sometimes run on empty.
Oh yeah.
And I know it, and I still push. And it's almost like I'm 200 feet from the gas station, and by God, I'm going to get 75 things done before I go recharge.
Dude,
it's just part of our being.
You can jump on the back of my wheelchair. We'll make it, man. We'll get there, brother.
We're going to get there. But that's such a positive thing. And I think that you being a light in the world is so important. And I appreciate that very much, because people need more lights. They need more people to check up on them. But we, as those people, need to be very cognizant of recharging and making sure that we're able to give, because if we go empty, the people who want us to give to them, we don't have anything to give. And so I had to learn that the hard way very early on. All right. So tell everybody how they reach you. We have lots of love went up and down all of the platforms. You can't see all of them, but people are saying what a blessing you are and how much they love you.
Well, thank you.
So tell them the best way to reach you, and then maybe we'll do a follow-up on some of the stuff that in another show on some of the very specific things that you do. But tell them the best way to reach you.
Thank you. So, I mean, best thing to do is go to the website, ejg360consultingllc.com. You can also find me on Facebook and obviously all the other social media outlets as well. But yeah, definitely reach out. My phone number's on there. So if anybody wants to reach out and have a conversation, or if there's something you need that I can help with, by all means, happy to help, happy to do, happy to connect. If I'm not the guy, I got a guy.
I got a guy. That's one of my favorites. I got a guy. And then a girl said, what about a girl? I go, I got a guy and a girl. What do you want?
There you go. Behind the best.
All right, Erick Gereaux, you're amazing. Thank you so much. You guys go to ejg360consultingllc.com and reach out, find out what Erick does. We're going to have him back. Obviously, he touched a nice nerve today. So people were hungry for this, and I thank you for that. It takes a lot, and I do appreciate it very much.
My pleasure, my brother. Thank you for the invite.
All right, my friend. Thank you. You guys reach out to Erick. Let's support all of our people that come on the show. They have great stories, and they also have great services. So please reach out.